I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. Paper China, first real news. Where every headline's a revelation.
Just don't look in each other's eyes and don't cross swords.
Okay.
It's not gay in a three-way. Only in theaters this spring.
This fall from Disney and Pixar, inspired by a true story.
Makes me
She
think of the
can't see,
Lonely
she can't hear,
Island
she can't
Boys
speak,
or something.
but she can fly.
I'm here with you.
Helen Keller.
From Disney and Pixar.
Time to roll.
One beam.
Can't stop me now.
One dream.
America.
Beams Crossing. Coming soon.
I hate green beans.
Maybe they don't like
man.
you either.
Wait, did that just move?
When a picky eater opens the wrong jar, he discovers a world he never imagined.
Hold on, kid. These beans bite back.
We're gonna stop that thing, right?
Only if you believe in the sprout inside you.
Hey, little brother. Feel that breeze?
Yeah, it's like the whole city is breathing with us.
They're talking.
This summer. From Disney and Pixar. Discover the story of two towers that's...
I like the first one and the last one. Oh my gosh, y'all. This lipstick is a massive fail. It's like flaking off really bad. It's going to drive me bananas. Okay. So, hi. How are you guys? I'm glad to see all of you with me. SEAL Team 6 says wouldn't miss it. Desert Dog sent a smiley face. Hey. And oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Welcome. It's been rather an uneventful day. I will say this. If you don't like tariffs because you think that it taxes the American people, it only does if you want it to. Don't buy the foreign goods. Buy American. It's cheaper. And then we get money from the foreign government. So it's like literally win-win because it puts America first. If you're in one of those lugheads that can't figure it out, oh my God, why is this so much more expensive? Go buy American. It's not as expensive right now. Okay. And let's see what else happened. Nope. Still nobody understands the viral video I had where I was like, liberals, where are you going to deport me to? They're like, oh, you stupid. It's the conservatives. They still aren't catching on. I wonder if they ever actually read the comments. Let's look at the comments in the chat. Backwater Fishing says, hi, good evening. SEAL Team says, USA. Also, Desert Dog, rock on, baby. I'm glad all my thirsty babes are here. Oh my God, y'all, this lipstick is driving me crazy. Y'all may have to give me, like, when I play a video, y'all may have to let me be excused for like 2 minutes to go put some moisture on these things. This is terrible. Okay. Because, if I let this flake off, these libtards are going to spot like the one tiny little piece of lipstick on my tooth, and they're going to like zoom in and I'll be like, listen to Looney Luna with her lipstick on her teeth. Ugh. Anyway. Welcome, men of culture. John Swallows says. Interesting. Are you calling me high quality, high taste? Is expensive. Let's see. Hidalgo. Sergeant Gilbert Hidalgo. Welcome, sir. I don't know which type of sergeant you are, but Whew. And let's see. Clark Flynn just joined. Bo Cephas, Mennings, Hellride. Hi. How are you, dear? Oh, thank you. I'm high class. I appreciate it. Well, I'm glad to know you guys have good taste and you guys aren't cheap. All right. I got good ones up for you. I know you guys like to, y'all are divided on this about Miss Candace Owens. She is making some headway. She's the #1 podcast right now. I wonder why that is. It's because she's brave enough to be like, yeah, we don't trust the narrative. Y'all have to give me like 3 seconds. I swear I will be really fast. I can't deal with what's happening on my face. Please, if you love me, don't go anywhere. I have to. This crusty crap when I'm like driving me insane. I'll be like that. You can go to my screen and my music. Oh my gosh. All right. I am back. That was a disaster. It's a good thing I did that because it was all over my teeth. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to have to write them a bad review. Okay. All right, I've got your first video. Thanks for everybody who stuck with me and didn't leave. Let your girl get comfortable because that was so uncomfortable. All right. Miss Candace Owens, she reacts to herself. Oh, you know what? I got to give you my what's up next. All right. Candace reacts to Candace. Islam is not the best religion for women. Mondami's transition. Mondami just makes shit up for his plan that isn't real. Pro-Israel versus America first. Mondami has been a stupid fart face for years. Toddler shows in 2025. Muslims awaiting orders. Candace throws shade at Ben Shapiro. Tapper is slowly getting red-pilled. Cultural clothing. Why did Dickface, I mean Mondami, win? What about polio? Andrew Dice Clay was based. White people can't dance. Is there a black person here? That's what I got up for you guys. I got good shit coming. All right. Going back to the chat. Black Sales says, oh, wait. Seal Team 6 says, apologies for some of the trash comments you get here. We have your back. Oh, did someone talk trash on me? Laugh out loud, let the liberals, dumbasses talk their stupidity. It wouldn't matter. They're not worth their time or energy. You're right. You're right. But you know, it was more so about the tactile feel that was happening. There was no way I was going to be able to do a talk show, a podcast with that weird chalky concrete feel on my mouth. What's up, Larry? I am so glad to see you in the chat tonight. You missed my my menu for the night. All right. First video coming up. Candace reacts to Candace.
They is a word, so like I don't need to always like say they. Like it's just a weird. It's like this is one of these psychology tactics where you're like, who is they? Who is they? And it's like,
Because it sounds like you're saying Jews.
does the word they mean Jews?
Her face.
When you're talking about Jews, yes.
But if I'm not talking about Jews, then they doesn't mean Jews. When I say they want us to believe this or they want us.
They tried to do that to me when I was running for Congress all the time. You learn to talk in a way where they can't like cut your sentences up and edit it the way they want to also.
That and you hear Jews, that's your own derangement, right? If I want to say something about Jews, I'll say it. If I want to say something about Israel, I will say it. If I want to, just like when I want to say something about black people,
because that's how Candace is. I don't know.
When I was saying during BLM, they want us to believe. Nobody said, do you mean Jews? And so again, it's one of these trash tactics to make people fearful to speak. If I want to say Jews, I will say Jews. I don't fear saying Jews. When I say Zionists,
minimize that. Can you guys see me? You can? Oh, perfect. All right. Yeah, I love how Candace stands up for free speech like this and also is able to like kick the ball out of the goalie. Like she does not take the debate, the traps, because that's actually the truth. And too many people, because they're not sure of themselves and they don't have their principles set in stone within them, can't provide a response like this. If that's what I wanted to say, that's what I would say. If I'm saying they, I actually had a coined term for it called the committee of they. When they would try to be like, who is they? I'd be like, the committee of they. Our overlords. Insert whatever your belief system is here. All right. I'm really annoyed at my screen. Can you minimize that? Oh, you did. All right. It's okay. At least I have the chat right here. Now with AI, it's going to get even worse. There's stuff online that looks so real. I love Candace also. I know. All right. Next video. Islam is not the best religion for women. You don't say.
Islam is the religion of rape, incest, and pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I believe in
that last image was heavy. This is, I think this woman is running for Congress. I think it's her last name's Valentina. And she is, I believe, of Middle Eastern descent. So she is like on a tear. She is ready for it. I can't see what y'all see because my screen went down. So if there's any issues, y'all are gonna have to put in the chat for me, okay? All right. The next video. Anybody who's been paying attention to Mom Dami heard him talk about transition. Get ready for the transition in his first video after he won. Let's look at Mom Dami's. Let's see what the NRA thinks the transition's gonna look like.
Welcome to the transition. Welcome to the transition. Because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust.
The way that prisons are set up in our society, I would argue that they do not work. They do not make us safer.
But why, Mom Donnie? Can you articulate why? Why do you feel that way? He can't articulate why. Because he's just, further left than an anarchist. Like, he's just like spouting off what the cult tells him to say. He's not wrong just by luck. He's not wrong that they don't work because most criminals aren't out there just loving what is evil. Most of them are bad problem solvers. Y'all have heard me talk about this before, and we need therapeutic scenarios to prevent recidivism, which is the the repeat crime that lands you right back in there. Because all they do right now is just lock them up and throw away the key. Yeah, some people need that. But there's a lot of people who are just bad problem solvers that need to have their thinking straightened out.
Like when we talk about policing, I don't think the system actually makes us safer. I think what it does is it just removes problems out of view.
But look at how just openly hypocritical. I mean, he says the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a threat to public safety. Wonder who else is anti-queer. The Muslims?
On January 1st, I will be your mayor. Welcome to the transition.
So, I don't know if you remember about 10 episodes back, I showed you a video with all the different cities in the U.S. that have Muslim mayors. Now, this was all like what their plan was. If you don't believe it, it's production. Can you look at this? It's like offset. Up there. So anyway, he's going to fix my orientation on Instagram because I'm cut off. We're gonna fix that a little bit. Here we go. It's cool. There we go. Yeah. All right. So the next video, Mom Dami just makes shit up for his plan that isn't real.
Go further toward the Vienna model. We'll have to go
It's like
beyond
a 12-year-old.
We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market.
This must have been a college project because I had to do things like this and upload it to YouTube.
And convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing over.
Remember? The ghettos? The slums?
But we know what we have to do, and we have history to guide us.
He wants to put everybody in Section 8 housing. Oh, boy. I hope all the homeless people go up there. That's a good thing. All the states could round up all their homeless people and just send them to New York, and we could just do a tradesies. Any capitalistic, free-thinking, law-abiding citizen that wants to continue the opportunity to not have America determine your salary can come to another state. We can swap. Swapsies, just out with the bad, in with the good. There's this a guy I see every now and then on Instagram. Sometimes I like what I see. Gilbert says they're rounding people up and they don't even know it. Yeah, they're making it willful. Willful sheep going right to the slaughter. Just laying their head right on the chopping block. All right. Pro-Israel versus America first.
Hey, dude. Do you support Israel? Yeah, sure. At all costs, above everything else, no matter what? Well, that seems kind of absurd.
I know that's coming.
Check of support. Well, do you? No, I guess not to that level. I mean, I do have some questions about the Israeli government. You're an anti-Semite. Oh, that's what we're doing here. How long have you hated Jews? Well, I don't, but how much have you been listening to Ben Shapiro lately? Well, believe it or not, quite a bit lately. I could tell. I'm going to give you one last chance. I want you to denounce Tucker Carlson right now, or else you're an anti-Semite. I love Tucker. Tucker isn't MAGA. Ah, that's cute. And Ben Shapiro, who openly supported Ron DeSantis over Trump, he's somehow MAGA? I don't know about that, but
Right.
Tucker's not MAGA. Well, you know, and using woke tactics to try to cancel people also isn't MAGA. Woke tactics? I'm a conservative, bro. I have a camo hat on. I don't
Camo
use
hat on.
tactics. As an American, you're pro-Israel above everything else, right? Yeah, they're a great ally. Yeah, insert great ally rhetoric there. I get it. But what you're doing is using a one-word label, anti-Semite,
Right.
to smear a person's
Right.
entire character into being a hateful person in order to...
And this is what they do to take the attention off the fact that their holy book allows them to commit crimes on anyone who is not a Jew. Don't forget what happened to us, even though we've been kicked out of 109 countries.
intimidate them into agreeing with you, or if they continue disagreeing with them, discredit that person. Yeah, that's correct. That's a woke tactic. I don't know what you're talking about. The conservative. What would you call a person who tells you you're a racist when you question DEI race-based hiring practices? Yeah, they're woke idiots. And what about someone who calls you a killer because you refuse to get jabbed? Woke idiot. And someone who calls
Woke
you a
idiot.
transphobe because you don't support men in dresses reading to children? Woke idiot. And someone who calls you a Putin sympathizer because you didn't stand with Ukraine? Another woke idiot. And someone who calls you an anti-Semite for being America first? Woke idiot. Wait, no. You. Same tactic. It's out of the woke playbook, isn't it? No. What I'm doing is definitely not the same.
Right.
You, my friend, you, because you are literally hating Jewish people because you're skeptical of Israel. You know, there's kind of an extinction between devious government activity and the
Right.
people of that country.
Exactly.
And to shut down any criticism of that
Thank
country
you.
through an accusation of hating its citizens kind of makes free-thinking people even more skeptical of that government. It almost makes people think that that devious government is behind the cancel culture campaign out to destroy people that criticize
Smearing them.
that government. What is there to be skeptical about the Israeli government? They've been a great ally. Ally, yeah, I know you're talking points, but gosh, it's really hard to think of anything. But there is that whole Epstein ring thing and how that could have been orchestrated by Israeli intelligence for the purpose of gathering blackmail. And there's the International Criminal Court that currently has an arrest warrant out for Netanyahu for war crimes and crimes against humanity. I'm curious what's going on there. Just genocide accusations are kind of a big thing. And then there's the whole Israeli foreign influence over the minds of Americans by funding influencers, media outlets, and major politicians. I mean, that's kind of a big concern. Like, just imagine if that was China doing that, not Israel. It's a national security threat. And then you can get into the Rothschilds and how So you're saying you hate Jewish people? Is that what I'm saying? You think Jews have taken over the whole world? Don't you? No. But it really seems like the Israeli government's trying to take over the conservative party in America.
Yes,
right now.
yes, it does.
No, I think I
Yes,
would notice if
it
that
does.
was happening. I think your alarm's going off. Oh, I didn't notice. Shapiro's got a new video coming out. He'll be speaking to a conservative audience that spent the last 5 years strongly refusing to comply with intimidation tactics. And he'll be trying to intimidate them into joining the pro-Israel side of the conservative party. I think it's gonna be successful. You enjoy that. I'm gonna go watch Tucker Carlson interview Candace Owens and Ian Carroll. I literally hate you. Why? Because you're a hateful person. Doesn't that make you the hateful person? You just admitted hate, and I don't feel hate towards anyone. You hate me because I'm Jewish, don't you? Well, you're not Jewish, so how could that be? Well, I don't know, but I'll get back to you after I watch Ben Shapiro a little bit more. Great. I'll be looking forward to you telling me how I think and feel. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic right now, or me either. Are you tired of feeling tired? Do you always hit the snooze button and then slam your sleepy face right back into the pillow?
Hey, Philly
Honestly,
guy.
It's understandable. With all the problems you probably take care
Hey,
of at
Blaster.
work, home, with your family, with your friends.
Hola, Puerto
It's no wonder
Rico.
you feel so tired. If you have any level of self-responsibility, you probably take care of a lot of different things. But have you ever...
Oh my God. Yeah, we're not going to watch an ad. Okay. He didn't leave me much room to have to interject. He said everything that needs to be said. I don't really look. I'm very simple. Whatever it is, if it's not America first, I'm not for it. If it violates your constitutional rights, I'm not for it. We don't need any more new laws. We have the Constitution of the United States. That's it. Those are the only laws we need. Defund, deregulate, delegislate, minimal government, constitutionalism. I could go on and on for hours. Hi, Richard from Houston, Texas. Hello. Thank you for the rose. Gilbert says it simply comes down to the fact of what it is to be defined as Semitic. Semitic means you come from the line of Shem. Yes, you're absolutely right. Not all of them are Semitic. Alrighty. And SEAL Team 6 says hashtag Constitution. Thanks for hashtagging. Nico says, I love it. Welcome, Soprano 8. All right. I just got on a constitutionalist rant. All right. Next video. Just so you know, Mondami has a stupid fart face, and he's had it for years.
We clearly do not have the numbers as they are in this moment to win the radical legislation that we need to bring about and begin to believe that these kinds of results are sufficient.
Uh-oh. That was 2021.
We clearly do not have the numbers as they are in this moment to win the radical legislation that we need to bring about and begin to believe that these kinds of results are sufficient. We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. Now, we have
unapologetic
to
I bet Bernie Sanders loves him.
Was to fight to stop study abroad
Welcome, Robert
at universities
Ryan.
in Israel that were complicit in the occupation, many of which through the development of weapons technology for the IDF. Now, by bringing the issue of Israel-Palestine apartheid to Bowdoin, you bring it front and center, it's harder to ignore. And then making sure that we move to dismantle that relationship. Those are things that you can do as a legislator, right? You can, like, for example, Governor Cuomo has an executive order barring, I think New York State from doing business with any company suspected of sympathizing with BDS. One thing I can do as a legislator is once we build up enough, build up a large enough coalition for this, we overturn that executive order. But I sincerely believe in this political process.
I mean, a mayor of New York
in socialism. For me,
because he's not going to stop there. He's going to go into Congress and the Senate, et cetera, or he might run for governor.
It was Palestine that brought me into this movement. It is it can be such a lonely experience to be a socialist, and
I bet, motherfucker. Oh my God. Are you missing the context clues? The social context clues that everybody thinks you're weird?
Was for me country, because my journey, as Oren alluded to it and referred to, in organizing began at my college campus with Students for Justice in Palestine. To power this journey and understanding that it is socialism that we are fighting for this moment right now, right? If we're talking about the cancellation.
But why are you fighting for socialism, you little rich bitch? Why? He comes from a privileged family. I wonder what his motivation is. Why are they always elite people just going on and on for socialism? You never freaking see. Really, I mean, I've never ran into a human being that's like, yeah, I love socialism.
Student debt, if we're talking about Medicare for all, these are issues which have the groundswell of popular support across this country. But then there are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right? Or whether it is the end goal of seizing the means of production.
We're done hiding!
We clearly do not have the numbers as they are in this moment to win the radical legislation that we need to bring about.
But, okay. So just so you know, they've been using him for a while. I'm sure he stuck out when he was in college and Soros spotted him years before we even knew him. We all just found out about him. I mean, obviously, this next video I found, I thought it was going to piss me off, but it really actually made me laugh. So, this is somebody, I love her. Toddler shows in 2025. This is satire, obviously.
Hi, friends. Today's letter is M for Mom Donnie. Yay! Mom Donnie is brown, right? Which is better than white. Good. We're decriminalizing prostitution. We're decriminalizing prostitution. If Timmy has 2 houses and DeAndre has none, what should Timmy do? I know. Give him his houses. Right. Hi, friends.
Don't you feel like talking to those liberals just like that? Like explain to them economics? Dude, on my video about tariffs, I feel like doing flashcards or something in the rails because I'm like, they don't understand how tariffs are. This is terrible for Americans. Yeah, if you only buy Chinese goods. Be America first. Buy American goods. They're cheaper than the tariffed Chinese products. That's the point. God. See my pen? See my eyeball? Frequently, I imagine them meeting each other and becoming friends. Golly, gouge my eye out with a hot spoon. Why don't you? It'd be less painful than listening to these people get on my fucking chat, on my fucking comments, trying to explain to me very badly how tariffs are terrible for Americans. I've just gotten to the point where I just put the fish hanging on the rod with them because they're so like, they're hopeless. They're hopeless. They really are. They're hopeless. All right. Watch this. This is in Great Britain. The Muslims are awaiting orders.
Muslims need to be deported and banned from Western society. Every single last one of them. And if you're going to come into my comments and say, oh, Nathan, that's not very loving and Christian of you, piss off. Unfollow me and piss off. Yes, we're supposed to love everybody. That doesn't mean we're supposed to be stupid and commit suicide. Nobody with 2 functioning brain cells allows an enemy into their home. You don't open your door to somebody that means you harm and say, oh, I'm being loving. No, you're an idiot. Get this through your head, all right? Muslims don't assimilate.
Right.
Wherever Muslims go, they do not assimilate to the culture or the society that they live in. They have allegiance to only one thing, and that is their own laws, their religious laws. Their religion comes number one.
It's a cult.
And they are doing everything
that is exactly how the Jehovah's Witnesses were. You only integrate just enough to hold a job. And that's if you choose to work outside of the cult organization and your brothers and sisters' companies. But yeah, that's how I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Very much the same. You do not compromise your spiritual beliefs. Those come before everything. Those come before Caesar's law. You must put Jehovah first above all things. See, I'm not saying Jehovah's not a god. I'm not saying Allah is not a god. But they're not the God, the all, the everything. And that's the only thing I bow my knees to. No other idols can bring me to my knees.
they can to bring their laws and their customs and overtake ours.
All right. Let's see. I love that you guys are chit-chatting. All right. Philly guy says, and what's mind-blowing is LGBT supporters hold up the Free Palestine sign. Hey, warriors, try going to Gaza and see if they support you. Yeah, exactly. Because they would be unalived if they went there. It's the wildest shit. Common sense is not common among them. All right. Next video. Candace throws shade at Ben Shapiro. I can't stand Ben Shapiro. He is the smuggest little worm to me. Ugh.
Business where people comment on what we say publicly. Again, this is why I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that
why
again.
But
what makes it evil? Because you're questioning a narrative that doesn't make sense, like massive plot holes in the movie played out right in front of your eyes. It's so lazily done.
Because I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position.
Gilbert, weasel is the perfect word for Ben Shapiro. Thank you.
Is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking.
Okay, so I like the question he asked her because I'm all about posing the question. This kind of a question to people, like, what would you do if the shoe was on the other foot? It's a valid question to ask Megyn Kelly.
About it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members.
Look, she's like dying to hit the pause button.
Members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yes.
It's just, I don't even know how to respond to it because it just never happened. It's so crazy. He's not even anywhere near what's happened. Anybody who's watched this show, I actually was getting flack from my audience for not covering Erica's past or speaking about her parents. I said she gave one of the most consequential speeches, and I have focused my investigation on turning.
She's actually trying hard not to look at Erica, and I think that is her biggest mistake. So in Candace's defense, Ben Shapiro's wrong because from the outside looking in, Candace is like not looking at some very obvious things that are starting to become obvious to more than just me after everyone lambasted me for saying such a thing about a woman of God.
Point USA and why they're telling certain lies. Seth Dillon, I told the truth that Seth Dillon lied about the Hamptons meeting.
Let's see. Chewy's in the chat. Hanks joined. Skeeter's here. Goosehead Paul is here. Doherty's here. What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a good night.
And that he was pressuring Charlie about the topic of Israel. I never once accused Seth Dillon of murdering Charlie Kirk. So what's he actually doing here? Right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's a lot of layers that we should peel back, and it's important that we do it. The least interesting part of this is the fact that he's lying through his teeth. That's implied he's a Zionist. The stunning hypocrisy again, okay, of him picking the topic of Charlie Kirk to pretend that he's noble when it is just a fact that Ben Shapiro did a lot of things behind the scenes to stop the rise of Charlie Kirk. It's a fact, okay? Here's another text message. I have literal hundreds of them pertaining to Ben. Yeah, it was a headline. Ben Shapiro's YAF launches smear campaign against Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Hey, Charlie, wherever you are, it's happening again. You're bigger than Ben now. I'm walking into the White House yesterday. I realized that. I said, I know. He hates.
She always has receipts. Always. She lets everybody smear her and look ridiculous because she will always bring the receipts after you have a chance to respond.
He said, we just have to treat him like noise. He wants you to punch down to him. His respect amongst movement fighters is quite low. You got in his head, which is terrific. The Ben thing involves me more than he wants to admit. He knows that Jon Snow, he's using a Game of Thrones reference, is stronger as the dragons fly higher. And he said it pisses him off. And he is sending his incestuous brother to go try and kill us. It's worse. He views you as my slave, 100%. Control her is what he really was saying to me when he called. To me, it is truly so gross to do this to a person that you know you tried to block. And you just, now that he's dead, I guess you want to sort of rewrite history. That's right. You're trying to rewrite history and pretend that you're his ardent defender.
We're in a business where people comment on...
It's kind of crazy because all this Charlie Kirk situation is doing is exposing all the people that are putting Israel before America and using the Bible to guilt you into doing that. And yeah, they are going to be touring. I guess Israel's going to be touring churches in the United States to try to raise support for them because people are waking up and their pockets are getting thinner, probably. And so now they need to go spend some money marketing themselves. Don't forget what happened to us. They're going to go to all the evangelicals first. They're going to go hit up the Jehovah's Witnesses. They're going to go hit up the Mormons. They're going to hit up the LDSs, et cetera, et cetera. And then they're going to hit up, the Lutherans and the Methodists. It's going to happen. It's going to happen with all the evangelicals. And then mega churches. They're going to hit all the mega churches because, there's big money in the mega churches. Big money. Everybody wants to go to a mega church because, it says something about your social status there. 700 Club. Jack says. All right. Next video. Tapper is slowly getting red pilled.
You're blaming the Republicans for the shutdown, but in point of fact, it's the Democrats in the Senate who are refusing to vote for the clean continuing resolution to fund the government for 7 weeks. I mean, that just as a point of fact, the way that we have always covered shutdowns is that the party that is not voting for the CR, the continuing resolution to fund the government, is the party that is blocking the government funding and is responsible for the shutdown. That's how we did it the last time in 2018, 2019. That's the time we did before that during the Obama administration. I mean, it's your party that is refusing in the Senate that is refusing to vote for the continuing resolution. You're blaming the Republicans for the shutdown, but
thank you, Greg, for the the compliment there in the chat. So yeah, isn't it interesting to watch some of these leftist journalists starting to wake up? It's a really good feeling when you see them finally holding these politicians accountable. And it's even better feeling when you see the politicians sitting there at the desk, like not knowing what to do because they're so caught off guard. It's so great when the truth slaps them in the face publicly. This fucking shutdown. It's so ridiculous. I can't even with them. Both sides. It's just like, come on now. I mean, I can't even say both sides anymore. I'm really just annoyed with the Democrats, at this point, but that is what it is. What are we gonna do? I mean, the right believes in what is moral so much that we aren't willing to get dirty. I think it's gonna have to take some motivation. I don't know. But I want to make a point about what Islam has been doing to the countries around the Middle East and in Africa and into India and what they're going to do here, because this is what they do everywhere. And I think they should also be kicked out of 109 countries, just like the juice was. The juice boxes were kicked out. All right, let's look at some cultural clothing. Let's look at how it changed. Somalia, Pakistan, India. Look at all the places that they have done this to women. Beautiful girl on her fucking burqa. Look at this. At least they let Syria have a little bit of glitter. Yeah, I thought they would have Iran on there too. But yeah, this is what they're doing, And by the way, men can be up under that shit. You don't know who's hiding underneath those things. Men can be up underneath those. That thing is a security threat. Look, this American girl ain't putting one of them damn things on. Give me liberty or give me death. That's how I feel about it. All right. Why did Mamdani, win the race?
Why did Mamdani win last night? Well, I've had a lot of people asking me this question, and this news article tells you why.
The key groups that we're seeing behind the vote really telling the story here in New York City. When you break it down by age of the voter, the youth vote overwhelmingly went for Mamdani in this race. 75% of their support went to him. And when you break this down into gender, that number gets even bigger. The female youth vote, women under the age of 30, you break that down, that number goes over 80% support for Mamdani in this race.
So my question for you is, why would the under 30...
And that's why Soros needed a young, good-looking man. The chat says suicide bombers are hiding under that shit. High five back at ya, Nako. Yes, Backwater, don't tread on me. Yeah, I know. They're voting with no ID up there. And then Skeeter says, I think it may be becoming unfashionable for the media to keep constantly lying and covering up for the Democrats, but we'll see. I think that's an interesting way to look at it. Let's see. I don't think Mamdani is good looking. That's just what they're saying on the liberal channels.
30 women vote for someone who represents a religion that is so against females and female empowerment. What was going on TikTok? What was being put out there? I'm not actively spending time on TikTok a lot, so I don't know what they were seeing, but I do believe that that's where it came from. So if you
Hawaiian
are on
or
TikTok
Polynesian
and you have
almost.
seen this, maybe you can explain to me in the comments below.
That's Miss Tracy Guns. I love her. I love her blue lashes. I used to wear blue mascara until the liberals fucking took wearing fun colored hair and fucked it all up for us. Liberals to wear my hair like hot pink, and now I can't because of these fucking stupid liberals. They ruined it. All right. I don't know how y'all feel about vaccines. This is something we haven't talked about on my show. But what about polio?
Every time someone finds out my kids are unvaccinated, they say the same thing. But what about polio? So let's talk about polio. First, we don't live in 1905, so we're not drinking water contaminated with feces, and we're not bathing in sewage.
Boom.
If you believe the Liaria poliovirus narrative, you have to literally put the feces from a polio-infected human being into your mouth to contract polio.
Right.
And that sounds more like a sanitation issue rather than a vaccination issue. But get this, even if you were to do that, 75% of polio infections have zero symptoms, guys, zero. So if 10 kids put the feces of polio-infected humans in their mouth and got polio, at least 7 of them would never know it. If 75% of BLTs
Deborah.
didn't have bacon, lettuce, and tomato, is it still a BLT?
I agree with you, Gilbert.
Not to mention, paralysis occurs in less than 1% of cases.
Yeah.
So here's what most people don't know and will certainly trigger many of you. But in modern times, the vast majority of paralytic polio cases worldwide come from the polio vaccines themselves, guys, not the wild.
Right.
Meaning the reason a child became paralyzed was because they got the polio vaccine. Furthermore, there's no neurotoxic and paralyzing lead arsenate and DDT being sprayed all over the place anymore, although glyphosate and atrazine aren't doing anyone any favors, but I digress. So in closing, we have clean water, clean food, and proper sanitation. My family and I aren't being sprayed directly with lead arsenate and DDT. The modern polio risk in the US is basically zero, and the global problem today is vaccine-derived. And for that reason, I'm out. My job is to make a risk-benefit calculation for my children using informed consent. And based on all those facts, it's a hard no for me, dog. Oh yeah, also because I'm an uneducated, crazy, conspiracy theorist anti-vaxxer who doesn't understand anything about science. Right, Kaylin?
Aw, you sweet baby.
Every time someone finds out my kids are...
Okay, so here's what I have to say about that. I will fight for your right to get vaccinated just as much as I will fight for your right to not be vaccinated. I believe that's a personal choice. That should be nothing anybody influences. I think you have dominion over your children. It should be nothing any school demands. And I'll give you, I was born in 1985. So, my parents, not knowing any better, gave me every vaccine known at the time. And I have something called fibromyalgia. My immune system is so revved up all the time. It's just When it doesn't have anything to attack, it's busy attacking weak cells in my body, which I live 90% of my life with nerve pain, eczema, urticaria, just different inflammations and different things like that, and allergies. And I have 163 food allergies to the point where it just doesn't even matter. I just eat what I want anyway. Now, by the time I had my oldest child, who's now 19, she got her first set of vaccines at 3 months old, and then 3 days later had the worst case of eczema I'd ever seen in my life, from scalp to toenail. And this happened on a plane, and it was just when she first started breaking out, and it was just terrible. And she had the worst case of eczema for about 12 years that wouldn't go away, and it became really expensive to feed her, really arduous, lots of tears. So I stopped vaccinating her after that first set, and they gave her like 6 at a time. Now it's worse. They give them a lot more. But I stopped vaccinating her then. Then I had my son and then my youngest daughter, and I didn't vaccinate them when they were born. And the hospitals treated me like I was a child abuser. I mean, I really had to stand my ground, and I really had to do my research to know what I was speaking about medically, so they didn't treat me like I looked young for my age, especially at that time. So, they were already treating me like a teen mom, even though I wasn't. So I just had to really come with it, showing I knew my stuff. And, they'll just try to really guilt you into it, but you just got to stand your ground. And what I did was I waited till my youngest was 12 years old or 10 years old to vaccinate her. And I only chose the ones that were really, really, really critical, that she could get through, sexual activity or drug use or something like that, just like the HEPs and stuff that it just really would be a tragedy for her to get. And I didn't do polio, and I didn't do all that other stuff. But I waited till her immune system matured, and I only did 3, and I did them one at a time. And then when it came to my allergies, my oldest, one of the side effects to her having those vaccines is she became allergic to peanuts. That was neither in her genes and anywhere in either side for her genetically. And so this just pops up. Well, when I was growing up, I was really allergic to eggs and milk and different types of proteins like that. My dad microdosed me with eggs a little bit at a time. It's gradually increasing the amount, and I can now have eggs, and I'm no longer allergic to it. My dad at the time, finding out my daughter was allergic to peanuts, was like, you should microdose her until she builds a tolerance. And I was too scared because at the time, all that stuff about peanuts was not as understood as it is now. And then lo and behold, what I saw on the TV probably a year ago was a doctor saying they went about peanut allergies the total wrong way. They were so scared of the anaphylactic reaction, they just told everyone to avoid it completely. And this doctor on national television said what they should have done was tell parents to microdose their kids with it, all kids with it, because very, very young, just teeny tiny amounts, and you slowly increase it, because peanuts are a superfood. Of course they would make us allergic to it because it's one of those foods that has enough protein and fat and sugar and salt that you can literally live off just peanuts. So, there's that. And then I'll say this, my OBGYN from 20 years ago, he actually delivered me from my mom and then delivered my firstborn daughter, which was wild for him. But he's an old school doctor, and what he told me, now he works for Emory, and he works he's a world-renowned plastic surgeon, but he told me when it comes to vaccines and having babies, he's one intervention leads to another intervention. Always, when you interfere with nature. So any of you unmarried men planning on having babies, or any of you newlyweds planning on having babies, if you go to have a baby, have a midwife. That's what every other country does, and we have the highest infant mortality rate Here, we're one of the only countries that just automatically goes to the hospital. Everyone's so scared of the pain. They want the epidural immediately, which actually extends your delivery time because the muscles relax so much they can't contract at full strength and push the baby out quicker. So that's an intervention, the epidural. What problems can come of that in an already the most dangerous state a woman can be brought to naturally in childbirth is never a good thing. So there's a higher infant and mother success rate with midwives because they teach the woman how to let nature take over. I went incredibly far in all 3 of my pregnancies to where I experienced full-blown labor without any pain relief. And I can say this, right when you think it's the worst, when you're going to throw up, is when the baby's about to come out and literally you can feel everything. So pushing the baby out is way faster. Let her be on her knees squatting or something like that. Just basically do nothing that the hospital does. Do everything opposite. Of course, your midwife is trained to intervene if something life-threatening happens until the ambulance can get there or you can get to a hospital. So, SEAL team says he's got to bail, but great show and he loves my directness. Thank you, SEAL Team Golf. It was good to have you with me. All right, so that was my rant. Just little examples in personal life on maybe why it might be a good idea to question everything pharma has ever told us here in the West, because the only thing they worship is money. All right. Andrew Dice Clay was based.
They should have a sign at the airport that says, look, if you don't know the language, get the fuck out of the country.
Hey.
They should have a sign at
It's a
the
fair
airport.
point, because how the hell are you going to know how to drive a car? How are you going to know how to articulate to a cop like what you witnessed happen? It was a crime. How do you know what our Pledge of Allegiance even means when you say those words? Like, I'm sorry, but I like assimilation. If you're going to move here and you're not willing to become American, don't fucking come here. And if you're here and you feel that way and you're trying to make your country, like where you come from, you know, like Ecuador, if you're trying to make your city like little Ecuador or some other little version of a country you come from, get the fuck out of here. This is America. You come here, you become American. If you don't like that, go the fuck away. Gilbert says, not a rant, very informative. I'm glad you're out here spitting truth. I love Andrew Dice Clay. Thanks, Gilbert. And Blaster says, classic. I love it. No, for real. Yes, seriously, assimilator. Get the hell out. Yes, I agree. All right. White people can't dance. That's the next video.
White people can't dance. That's a stereotype. It's a very broad statement. White people can't dance. White people dance just different. With the same amount of energy. You ever been to a square dance? See?
I love me a good square dance. Love a good hoe down.
You can't show up to a square dance without knowing how to. You gotta be a rehearsal.
Yeah.
I call square dancing white soul, because they break it down. Got a fiddle and a banjo.
My uncle, I am half white. My uncle plays the banjo. I'm from the Appalachian Mountains. And so I know how to play the harmonica. So we have a banjo player, harmonica, guitar, accordion, got all that shit up there.
Break it down.
I love how he's getting the hyper, the in there. Yes, in Living Color, it was a great show. It has its roots in folk music out of Ireland and Scotland. Bluegrass. This is what he's imitating, is bluegrass.
Get down too, they be in the pocket.
Oh, production just told me he's in Ace Ventura too. Ha, that makes sense. That does the he does the sound effects? No? Oh, right. Right, okay. Through the spear.
Make their own instruments. Got a jug. Got a washboard. I seen one with some spoons.
Do the cha-chi try, yes. Gilbert's on fire tonight. Look at this black girl. She's just laughing her ass off.
You ain't got to know how to square them because they got an MC. The MC tell your ass just what to do.
When I say step to the left, you step to the left.
Have y'all ever done a square dance or a line dance? It's so fun. I love the black line dances too, you know.
When I say step to the left, you step to the left. Step to the left, let's step to the left.
Step to the left.
Now step to the left. Now stop. When I say turkey, you say corn. Turkey. Slow down.
White people can't dance.
Don't be hating on my white people now. I'm so proud of my white heritage. I probably talk about it more than my West Indian heritage. Yes, I'm very proud to pick descent of Scotland. Thank you. All right. I got one more video for you guys. The Crip Walk is a country awareness. Stop it. Nuh-uh. Really? I did not know that. Let's see. Everyone is always offended. Imagine Archie Bunker in this society. The libtards would lose their shit. We got to bring all that back. We can't. Comedy has died because of the libs. You know what I'm saying? You've got to be able to make fun of people. That's the whole fucking point. You look absolutely amazing tonight, don't you? Oh, stop. You're sweet. This old thing. I got one more video for you guys. It's a doozy. I picked it myself. I saw the original version of this, and a follower of mine sent me the baby version, and I had to play it. So here you go, fresh from the follower community, all of my supporters. Is there a black person here?
Wait, what was that?
Is there a black person here?
What did you just say?
I said, is there a black person here?
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a black person here?
Chit, why are you asking that?
Janice said there was one in here. Came to check.
There's a white person here too.
Well, I don't need one of those. Mm-mm.
Chit, please stop what you're doing.
What's the big deal? I'm just trying to find the black person here.
Well, you found her. Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Chit, are you saying is there a black purse in here?
Yeah. Success. I like your haircut, Linda.
Thank you, Chit.
Chit, what was that?
Clearly, Chit is autistic because Chit was looking for a black purse in there, not a black person there. Look at all y'all. I wonder how many of y'all thought he was saying black person. Now, so let that be a lesson in interpretation that you can hear things completely wrong. It's not always about interpretation. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about perspective. There's this stupid meme that goes around with a giraffe who's like fucking painting what he's seeing. He's painting like a red circle, and the meme is like, it's actually a woman in a red dress with a red hat on looking at a flower. And it's like, it's all about perspective, which I fucking hate that. And I was like the only one to comment, actually, not everything's about perspective, because it doesn't matter what perspective the giraffe is at. Nothing changes that it's still a woman in a red dress holding a flower wearing a hat. Doesn't matter. Production is saying they got one more video. Okay, we got one more.
From New Hampshire has now pled guilty to child sex
Former
crimes.
transgender.
His intimate partner worked at a daycare where he would take pictures, explicit pictures of children between the ages of 3 and 5 and send them to the former state representative. Investigation shows there was about 10,000 text messages between the transgender state representative and his intimate partner, either sharing the actual photos of the children or talking about all the disgusting, nasty things that they wanted to talk about relating to the explicit photos of the children. But don't worry, everyone. There's absolutely no cause for concern here. Don't be worried if you see a grown man put on a dress and wear makeup and want to spend a bunch of time around your children, go into your daughter's locker room or bathroom. Surely there's nothing weird going on there. Transgender former state...
That's the bullshit. This is why we have a problem with it. Because there was just a sudden influx of them. They just appeared out of nowhere. No, clearly kids are being turned out and predators are using this as to take advantage. Gilbert says, nice nails, coffin and short. Black, marvelous. It's totally you. Close. These are almond, not coffin. These are almond. But thank you. Meow. All right. That's all I got for you tonight, folks. It is Saturday. I'm going to get off of here while I still have a little bit of time to enjoy my Saturday night. I wish I was spending a little more time with you guys, but, you know, Luna needs some of her own relaxation time. All right. I love you all. Send videos to Ryan.Lopez86 on Instagram if you want me to react to videos. If you're on TikTok, send it to, I think it was Ryan Lopez 54. All right. I love you all. Good night.